Hey there. We're we're back. I, I don't, I don't know. Um, we're live. I'm putting that in quotes. At least the we part, because um, well, apparently somebody wants to join. Um, but I'm live and no one's in here. 90 seconds in. That is not uh, unique for me in general, for this game, with me, for the channel, for this channel at least. No, no matter. No big deal. This will get put out onto to the YouTube channel, which I think means I have to make some adjustments there. Maybe get rid of some stuff that was chilling over there because it doesn't belong. Now that we are back live, I have not spoken live while streaming directly to YouTube from my PS4 Pro in I have no idea months. We'll just pluralize it. It's been at least a couple months, um, and it's just this little tiny slithery, impossible to recognize um, black uh, microphone input that I didn't have, and I'm not exactly going to put it into the category of, you know, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Um, but yeah, when the time came where I didn't know where it was, but I would have had a basically a, if not exactly 0% reason to ever take it out of the physical location in which I do the broadcasting and playing of games, etc. I knew it was quote unquote here, quote unquote somewhere. But that's all I knew. And it done what I felt like was some pretty extensive searches. You know, having to stick hands into things that probably should get cleaned better. Um, although not to go off on too much of a tangent, but I'm not exactly sure what I mean, outside of just the attachments to the excellent vacuum that I have, I'm not really sure what's optimal in terms of trying to get out, every little last uh, thing from nooks and crannies in between cushions, seats, etc. On sofas, couches, love seats, and the like. Um, but yeah, didn't have it and thought, what do I care? I have lots of input devices. I have lots of um, microphones slash earbuds. I've got plenty of. Sorry if it's messing with the volume as I look over. I don't know why I'm looking as if I don't know that it's there. But I've got plenty of like the not highest tech, but certainly higher tech than this little slimy thing here. Higher tech uh, Bluetooth, that I absolute with me mobile, because it's designed for that and is mostly great with what it's intended to do. And I, I, I guess I was naive. I probably should have realized the world that I was in and dealing with Sony and dealing with, you know, things such as the 120% lack of backwards compatibility with anything that they do, which I had not realized carries over into, not just software, games, movies, media, but also inputs and devices, etc., which is crazy, but okay. So apparently going off of the Apple playbook there. And I think this thing as a replacement, like I'd be kind of surprised if they charged you more than $5. I mean, it's clearly I mean it's probably like a 6 cent to make item with how many they make, and even if you like had somebody make you one only, it would still probably only cost like $5. And yet I wouldn't be that surprised if they're like forcing you to pay like $35 for it or whatever, just because they're thinking like, well, you have to use ours, and people like me are stupid and think you only have to use yours. When in reality, there's a whole bunch of plug and play options out there. I just did not happen to own any of them, and I didn't feel the need to get any of them. I could have gotten, could have, I could, I not, I don't even know English apparently. I could have picked up a replacement of this exact thing, which serves its purpose because this is on a channel that nobody listens to or watches or whatever. But opted not to do that. And if I wasn't going to do that, I probably wasn't going to go higher end either. So I just had months, let's say, I mean, I think it was at least 2, in which I would do some quote unquote broadcasts, some live streams, even for this game, although I hadn't really touched this game in a couple months either. But I played a lot this calendar year, not exactly starting in January, but this calendar year I played a lot of games. And if you want to go through the sports, they're not all franchises, but the sports, catalogs of what's out there. I've played a minimum of at least one quote unquote major, quote unquote AAA. Sorry, I can't do the Jim Sterling voice. Sports product for all the major sports, and tried to extend down beyond. Here in the States we got the so-called four majors. So you got NFL, NBA, MLB, and then most people would say hockey, and then it's kind of hard to discuss a product out of EA Vancouver and not talk about FIFA. So we'll go soccer, even though that's not exactly. I mean, hockey is a low enough rated sport in the United States, and with changing demographics and stuff like that, I'd have to look. But there's I know people have talked for years, way before David Beckham bothered to take tons and tons of money from LA Galaxy to come and play here. Even way before there was lots of talk about trying to bring the U.S. on board with literally the rest of the world. Almost like 99% of everyone outside of the United States that has made soccer/football the number one sport in the world, like by far. It's not even remotely close. And the number one sport generally in America certainly has been waning, having some issues of late, being football, specifically NFL. In some places doesn't even come close as a number 2 compared to things like cricket. So dumb Americans, try not to be one, but I am in a lot of ways. We might think that our thing is everyone else's thing, and it's clearly not. So we, quote unquote, we have hockey. Thank you, Canada, for giving it to us and giving Wayne Gretzky again to LA. Apparently that's all that's required, is just to take one of the biggest stars, either based on skill or notoriety, or at least both as far as Gretzky is concerned. I'm not sure, particularly at that time in his career, if Beckham would qualify. Present day Neymar Jr., he would qualify. I'd personally, if it was my team, I'd prefer somebody like Messi. But whatever. So apparently that's all it's required, is just take a huge star and put them on an LA team. Um, they kind of try to do that with with even the NFL, which doesn't really have much of a presence outside of the contiguous U.S. Anyways, so I think that all I was trying to say there was that soccer. Well, okay, fine, yes, soccer is the other one, but hockey numbers in terms of viewership, and I did not look at the finals this year. I would like to think that two significant factors there being Boston having a chance to not be able to run the table because unfortunately for them they've got the Celtics pulling up the fourth leg, but they would have had I don't believe it would have been the first time ever, but could have been, literally could have been, and then if it wasn't, it would have been one of a very small handful of times in which an area had been capable of winning 3 out of the 4 major U.S. sports championships. Obviously, speaking of the Patriots first, which tends to happen, most years. But then they had also had won. Excuse me. They also managed to pick up the win with the Red Sox, which also isn't that out of the ordinary nowadays either. But the Bruins had made it to the finals, and F. St. Louis. Do my best not to swear in this one, because it's my first one back. Don't want to be dropping the F-bombs unless I'm talking about Finland and Finnish players. But that's on the screen in case you have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyway, so F. St. Louis and everyone that's ever been from there and likes their sports teams over my sports teams, and I'm not going to say which ones they are. I think it can not really be denied that a healthy Bruins squad would have been able to at least compete better than they did, which is not to say that they were non-competitive, but they would have been able, at a minimum, they would have been able to compete better than they did. And in my opinion, even prior to the actual finals, the actual Cup finals, the final series between those two, I would still give me a healthy Bruins squad, and I'd be happy to put them up against the Blues all day, every day, and feel like I'm gonna win that 9 out of 10 times. Despite having issues with the people that currently live there, people that have lived there, people that are conveniently fans of the teams, fair weather fans, as well as the diehards, and there are a lot of diehards, although historically they've been more for the Cardinals, until they stopped stealing the Houston Astros playbook for 15 straight years and had to deal with the repercussions of that, and found themselves in a National League Central division that didn't even include the Astros anymore, and yet was still, without question, the most difficult, the most competitive, the most amped up division in baseball this decade. So that being said, I would have taken them, but at the same time, when it comes down to being realistic and looking at players and stuff like that, I mean, Tarasenko alone is a beast. He had been the entire year. He has been his entire career. From what I got a chance to see, because I don't remember if all games were broadcast on standard TV, but not to get off on too much of an aside here, I'm I'm kind of part of a boycott against watching non-broadcast TV sporting events. Um, so that meant that I missed a lot of the playoffs live, and then got to watch the replays on YouTube for free the next day through the NHL channel. So thanks for that, guys. But I kind of prefer to watch at least some of it while it's actually happening, and then maybe not get the updates on my phone when people score or when games end. So that's a tricky thing to do, to be able to, like, to be able to subscribe to the channel to ensure that you get to see the videos and not have other forms of updates popping into the same device. Obviously, the easy thing there is to just unsub from the channel and know where the channel is and just go and get it and find it and go from there. But the actual finals, I did not watch every game, but it is what it is. The point that I think that I was originally trying to make with that, outside of, hey, if you can't put it on broadcast TV, then I'm not interested in you at the moment, and that's not just hockey, that is across the board. I will be unfortunately missing some MLB playoff games this year. I probably would have missed some NBA playoff games if I had bothered to watch them, because that was the case certainly in previous years. So I don't know why it would have been different this year. But as far as I know, NFL doesn't have that issue. So if I do decide to watch any games in about half a year or so, a little more than that, I believe I can do that through broadcast and not have any concerns with what I feel to be pretty close to public utilities that have had lots and lots and lots of taxpayer dollars pumped into them over the course of their existences. I don't depluralize that. I don't know. Over their existence. That looks to be trying to kind of be putting up a paywall. I get it. They think that they're in business and that's how you run a business. It's not. Objectively, it's not. You can tell me I'm being subjective and that this is just my opinion. And if this was, I don't know, a TV reboot of Big Lebowski, then your comment of, well, man, that's just like your opinion. I said that wrong, but the man comes at the end of that sentence. But anyways, then that would be appropriate and it'd be funny and I'd give props to you, but it's not. So I'm going to stick with my thoughts on this. Anyways, if we get back to the actual point, you had Boston trying to get, which was a thing, but is probably going to be a thing again, unless, I don't know, there's some sort of significant drop off once Brady is no longer tossing that old pigskin over there. Whoever they got set up to go next, if it's going to be Jimmy G or whoever, they at one point in time, way before y'all considered him to be the GOAT, I had to convince a large number of people that this no-name backup to Drew Bledsoe was probably not going to be that bad and might actually give them a shot at finally winning after getting demoralized in 1986 after the 85 season in the largest blowout in modern history in the Super Bowl, and in other not great for the Pats years since then, before Brady and they started winning. So that was the thing. But now they're great. Red Sox are great. there's there's issues. There's parity. It's not like the Red Sox can win the World Series every year. But point being, if you force me to take an area / a city, and look at who's got the best shot at 3 of the 4, if not 4 of the 4, it's for now probably going to be Boston. I was just trying to think as I was saying that, and I had no intention of talking about this at all. That's what happens when you let me have a mic to speak to. I mean, there's no reason, obviously, why New York shouldn't be able to do it, considering that they have 2 teams in every single league. It's just that they're all terrible, and when they do manage to win, it's with the not just one of the worst quarterbacks in the history of the league, but by far the worst quarterback in his family, with Eli Manning. So yeah, I'm not sure if those teams are able to be relied upon, and I have I take personal issue with an executive that is prominent in that area and with some of the teams and arenas, etc., which that probably gives away who I'm speaking about, but that's fine. I'm not trying to put him on blast. Anyways, New York should be able to do it. They have effectively done it in the past, as have other places, but I don't see much reason to think that that's going to happen soon. And then I don't know if I said it, but I was thinking like probably LA, just in the sense that they're absolutely making a huge push in basketball, as opposed to Boston, which seems to be kind of going in the other direction. But there's plenty of free agents out there, and if you picked up like 3 of the prominent 15 that are out there, even though they all have max caps on them, suddenly I think they'd at least be in the running. The difference being they'd play against subpar Eastern teams all year as opposed to Western, and they'd have the same excuse that LeBron had in both Miami and Cleveland as to why he was unable to be competitive with a quote-unquote stacked superstar team that he bitched constantly about in the Warriors. So I think LA could easily do it, just in the sense that they're doing it in basketball, and they're making, or they have made, moves in football as well. And so, what else would you? I mean, the Dodgers have been fantastic. Some of the best players have ever played the game. I mean, I'm almost exclusively talking about Kershaw. Although, as I started to say that, I was thinking, pardon me, more in terms of other players and some of the offense there. And technically, Anaheim is part of LA too. I mean, if we want to count the Pats as being in the Boston area, then I'd have to do the as the crow flies miles to determine the difference between Anaheim and LA versus Foxborough and Boston proper or whatever. But I don't know. But I don't know if you want to go with Anaheim, and then also it seems so sad for him. Clearly being at minimum like the best current player, which would suggest he's the best player of his generation, which suggests that he's in the running if he continues at his pace or somehow improves. But like overall, in every category other than name recognition and star quality, and in some cases some people would say likability, it seems as though Mike Trout is stuck in Angels hell, which is definitely what it should be called. There have been other good players there. They've had some decent pitching. They don't it does it, I don't know if we can bring this back to hockey for at least 2 seconds here. I don't know which which um, which superstar player with crazy good skills on a quote unquote undesirable, I'm looking for positive non swear words here, undesirable team, if all else was equal, wasn't able to get significant additions, like, or I don't know, maybe even had a chance to have some additions, which one would be more likely to at least have a shot at a title sooner, between Mike Trout on the Angels in MLB baseball, for those of you who don't know, for some strange reason, I don't know why you wouldn't know that, or you know, comparing that to McDavid up there in Edmonton. You know, I mean, probably the Oilers, honestly. Despite the fact that you could put, you can and you have put you know, players that are in the 500 home run club on the team with them in the Angels. You know, harkening back to Cardinals talk for a second there. You know, being able to bring over, pardon me, you know, a 500 home run. I don't want to get into steroid talk, but if that wasn't a thing, then probably, maybe not exactly first ballot, but eventual probably Hall of Famer there with Pujols. He's at least on the edge for sure, and not a ton of teams are adding players of that talent and that caliber, because even though generally the average player might be better now than the average player was X number of years ago, that does not necessarily mean that the top of the top, outside of those top, say, like 5 to 10 guys, there's, you know, a little bit of a gap there, and that can be seen, I feel like, in kind of almost most of the major sports, with maybe things like basketball being significantly different in how you would view that compared to football, just in the sense that you know, one has 5 guys on at one time that, if need be, can potentially run for almost the entire game. You know, especially if it's like the final game and it's got to go. Compared to football that generally plays 11 per side and has special teams, and all 3 of which are going to have to find a time to play during the course of any given game. In modern times, I'm not aware of any time at all in which all 3 facets did not have at least one down, one play in which they played in the game. So point being, you can lose yourself in the crowd, I think, a little bit better in a more crowded field, even on a single team NFL, than you could, say, NBA, and then obviously very drastically different styles of play, etc., etc. So moving on, now that we are a half an hour in, that is what you deserve for me not having a mic for that long. So I found the mic. The thing is, I'm going to get to the screen. The screen is the reason why I'm actually doing the broadcast. That's why I tracked the mic down, which I thought this was crazy, and I will get to it. Turns out it's not as crazy. I'll get to why, but still crazy. I ended up tracking it down, and you know, having looked what I thought was pretty extensively for it previously, best I can say is, you know, I'm a dude, and I don't have, you know, being up to date on this and being more PC. I won't say that I don't just have, you know, a female in this particular location that's looking to have an impact on decor and color palette choices, etc. I don't have male, female, non-binary, anything. It's really just me, just my choices, and so it's basically black. Everything's black. Just cue up the Rolling Stones "Painted Black." If you had some nice video to go with it, you could do the instrumental version from the for what was the first season? Wow. Yeah, it would make sense if it was the first season. First season in Westworld on HBO, great show. Looking forward to 3, even if it might be taking a weird turn with Jesse Pinkman. So yeah, everything here is not everything, but I mean, way too many things are black. Like the walls aren't. I'm looking at plenty of stuff that's also white as well. So it's I guess it's mostly a deal. I'm actually trying. I'm like, where's the color? It's like brown paper stuff. That's brown. And then the media's there's a lot of blues in there. But yeah, generally speaking, the big stuff is mostly black, and so it can be pretty difficult to find a little wiry, tiny piece of crap thing that's almost exclusively black. Hold on, I'm gonna look at it for 1 second here. Yeah, I mean it does have the little splash of what I believe to be blue. I guess it could maybe be a form of purple. I would guess blue though. It's more in line with the PS4 base colors, not on the actual console, but on their on the box that it comes in, and their marketing materials for it, which literally no one in the world is paying attention to right now because 5 is on the way. So yeah, a little splash of blue at the top on the actual earbud part, and then I guess where the microphone would be, and supposedly volume modulator / adjuster. There's a little bit of a splash there as well, and yet though it wasn't enough for me to be able to find it, and there's reasons for it in terms of where it actually was. But pretty stoked to have found it. Kind of sucks that I played an absolute ton of games. I've deleted more content, more saved data, although I tried to keep as much of that as I could, more application, in some cases application data, or just the applications themselves, and trying to keep that base data there. And a big fu to the gentleman who sold this to me. Now I know it would have been an upcharge. I don't recall how much, and I probably didn't have as much of an interest in paying that much more for it. But whatever amount he sold me on. Really, that's what it is? No. There's no way that's... Okay. Where the hell's all my shit then, dude? It's telling me it's a terabyte on the box. And I don't have any other boxes. And I don't feel like going into my storage while trying to do a live stream that nobody's watching currently, and probably not going to watch a replay either. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense, because they do that stupid shit where they take at least 25, if not 35% of your supposed storage space and just take it for themselves, which I've been annoyed for more than 2 decades by that. So yeah, if it's been less than a decade, less than 10 years that you've been annoyed at that, or even been exposed to it, sorry bro, I take you down on that one. So the reason why I'm surprised that it says 1 terabyte is because there was at the time, right before I got it, I missed a chance of getting it because I guess there were like only 500 in the world that were made. But there was like a special, what the hell was it? Like 500, so 500 milestone. Was it, I don't know. I don't know what it was. We'll just make up stuff. 500 million PlayStations. It was 500 something, so it wasn't like or maybe it was 50 million PS4s that had sold. Whatever it was, they hit a marker. They did a special anniversary thing, and that was 2 terabytes, which is why I'm kind of surprised this one's only one. But that it's as much as one. For some reason, I was thinking it was less, and that wouldn't make a ton of sense because I've definitely seen on my screen, 800 to work with if I basically deleted everything. But yeah, I think I didn't buy a higher storage space one, so it wasn't like there was a 500 available. So there must have been a 1 and a 2, and I was talked down to using the 1, and that there'd be more than enough space for that, and there just isn't. There just isn't. There just objectively isn't. I mean, it's just not a true statement. And if you wanted to use their excuse of how, you could do PS Plus and use online storage for that, or you can hook up an external hard drive. These are true. These are true things. I just want to call them statements, I guess. These are true, but ain't nobody want to be fucking with that. It's bad enough lag, etc. God forbid you play a copy that you physically bought that you have on disc. That you're then stupidly required to put the disc in every single time that you play it. That technology, not necessarily Blu-ray or Ultra HD, but that type of disc install and then play on disc technology. There's better terms for it, I know, but I'm not dumbing it down. I'm just making sure everyone understands what I'm talking about. That technology has been around for basically like 4 decades at this point. Not necessarily for consoles, but the fact that that's still a requirement is just so we're going into nasty words at this point because I already dropped one F-bomb, but it's just asinine. It frankly is. If you're taking it off of a disc, you're already installing the disc stuff to it. Are you literally saving anything in supposed RAM, in supposed memory, in supposed anything at all, from pulling from and running on a disk, rather than like every bit of software that exists out there that's not for consoles, in which you insert a disk of any type, potentially just even something that's on a USB quote unquote thumb drive, and run the install, and then you're good to go. And then it's on your device, whatever that device happens to be from then on. You can burn the thumb drive in a dumpster fire if you want to. You'd still have access to the thing you just installed. And I think I might kind of be answering my own question as to why Sony particularly, and best I can tell Microsoft, even though I haven't touched them, decide to go that route, which is that if you're going to do what I just described of like having a disk, whether it's on a USB drive or something like that or whatever, simply for the purposes of holding the base data and to do an install, then why wouldn't you just go digital anyways? Feel free to look at Google Stadia and the two new gen consoles from Microsoft and Sony, and realize that basically everything is moving to what is referred to as SaaS, software as a service, and in this case, basically whatever you want to call it, whatever Sterling or Quartering wants to call it, they can call it whatever. Just go off of their term, because that's what people are going to say. But like games as a service, as opposed to, I think one of the ones I saw was talking about access over ownership, and that's a huge issue, and would like to see that get addressed. And I mean, if it doesn't, then it's whatever. I guess that the as long as it took me to finally adopt the fourth generation, it looks like there's a very good chance that I will not bother to adopt the fifth if it goes 100% that route, or very close to 100% that route. So, I guess my point with that was that I'm fairly certain that I could have paid more for 2 terabytes. If I couldn't, if this was like the only version of PS4 Pro that was available at the time, which is a possibility, I don't remember. I definitely could have got 2 terabytes out of an Xbox One. I know that for sure. And so maybe that was part of my decision-making process. I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. Moving on. So yeah, I take no responsibility other than the fact that I couldn't find the microphone and didn't bother to replace it with one that was compatible with this whole thing, because it's black on black here. So what are you gonna do? The floor is not. So the many times on which the thing was on the floor prior to it being lost, much easier to be found, and the many times in which it was say on top of the black places to sit, etc., a bit easier to find there as well, because you just kind of Helen Keller it with your hands, and you're able to figure out where it is, even though you can't physically see it with your eyeballs. But yeah, where it was, I'm actually kind of surprised that I ended up actually finding it, and I found it in time to do this broadcast, to bring you Roberts from Finland, 25 years of age, 920K salary, just prior to getting into 45 minutes. Why don't we talk about what we're talking about? Well, first of all, this is NHL19, so I almost used the phrase sunset in the description, opted not to, not just because that means something specific in this game, something that I've been highly annoyed about since it was put into the game. And don't get it twisted, EA and Game Changers and other people on YouTube, if they actually find this thing, I'm not completely just ragging on this title. I have occasionally, there's a video or two that was out there that isn't anymore, that I have done that, and some of those things I would look to take back if I had the opportunity to, which is kind of why they don't exist anymore. However, yeah, I didn't use sunset just because technically we've got, I mean, it's at least from today's date, that's a full 2 more months. I was thinking it was 3 for some reason, and it's clearly not. It's another 2 months. So there were people that were done with this game back in January. I gave it up in April, and had significantly waned between January and April. There's quite a few like Jeremy Roenick and other monthly legends that you, for the most part, I think the way it used to work, you could exclusively get them simply from just logging in every 8 hours, and that's where this came from, by the way. So hopefully I'm not killing my timers by taking 45 minutes to belabor the point on this one and only poll here. But yeah, I don't have Roenick, and then there seem to be other chances to pick up cards such as his that had been missed as well, and I missed out on those too. So it is what it is. But Yeah. Anyway, point. What are we going with here? So there's technically 2 months left in the game, and I I because of their misleading false advertising that they absolutely should get in trouble for and fined for, but no one cares because I think it's like $40,000 that they would have to pay, even if the courts deemed that they had misled 7 billion people in the world. It's still only $40,000 one time. There's no recurrence, etc. So it doesn't matter, and the public wouldn't care at all. So it's not a thing. But part of what they had done was convince idiots like me to get previous versions of NHL for PS4 that I had not owned, in order to get loyalty stuff that I did not get because it was misleading. I did, I think, get some of the stuff because I did play 18 like right before the cutoff. Didn't play a bunch of it. I just played as much as I felt like I needed to, and then there was like a couple more days where I didn't own any games at all, prior to the 3-day pre-release of this. I bought it as a pre-order. So so I would just know from that experience, and that was my first experience, and I didn't really know the world that I was in at all in 18 or in 19. I still don't really even know what the hell I'm doing here in 19, and I haven't touched 18 since then. So 18 at that time, back last September, at least prior to this coming out, I don't know if I bothered to put it. I actually have it on disc for some strange reason. I bought it with the console. So I don't recall if I bothered to put the disc in and play even once, even a single time once 19 had received this release. I bought into all of the hype, hook, line, and sinker, and unfortunately was getting nothing but positive reviews. Turns out it was from almost exclusively EA Game Changers, and others like that, as well as fanboys. So I get it, but it only took about like a week or two at most, probably, after that, without me seeking it out, just looking for NHL19 content on YouTube, for there to immediately be a bunch of less than positive stuff that was out there. And yeah, I would have preferred to have received that ahead of time, but it's not one of those things that I would say I would have as a like a regret. Like, I wouldn't feel the need to take it back at this point. It's been an experience, and hopefully I've learned something from experience, even if it turns out in the end that like none of it, 0% of it, can ever be applied to any games of any type, video, computer, console, or whatever, or the communal community / social aspects of it, or anything else. I don't even know. The point being, here we are. The game is basically done. And so when I talk about what's on the screen here in this card, which I'm gonna do now that we're into 50 minutes, I just want to make sure that I wasted a complete hour on this thing. There's lots of great stuff out there, right? So what this is here? No, this didn't come in. If I clicked back, you'd clearly be able to see that. Wait. No, you wouldn't, actually. If I click back, you wouldn't see anything. It would just go away. So it's a good thing I haven't clicked that. That's how long it's been since I've had to do this. Yeah, this is not from a 8-hour max ×3 daily check-in. That'd be even crazier. That'd be super boss. And if they want to give us that kind of stuff, come September, come October, especially if I don't have NHL20 at that point, I would take it all day, every day, twice on Sunday, whatever you need me to say. But in signing on to get that, because I am very interested in the monthly rewards for this month, being one of the games that I'm quote unquote stuck with, that I actually have ownership while that's still a thing. I'm not really looking to play it very much, and I abhor ABHOR, since I try to enunciate, but that could have come off as me saying some other word. I can't stand playing online in general. I greatly enjoyed some of the outdoor stuff, the ones. So I guess they were calling that threes in general, but I think one of them was called ones or whatever. I did that a bunch. The bags that you would get, the shell bags, were somewhat interesting, and I definitely, while it existed, and then it went away so quickly that I was like, oh, I guess it's not a thing. While it existed, being able to get content that was playable elsewhere, particularly here in Haz, which is all that anybody cares about, except I guess for the few that are looking to play EA. What's it called? I don't play it, so I don't know. EA SHL? Is that right? I have no idea. It seems right. I don't though, so it's whatever. Everyone else plays HUT, and even I think probably plenty of people that do the league probably play HUT as well. And I have no idea if and how they're tied. I don't think they are tied together. But the ones did provide you with shell bags that gave you like card packs, and very early in the game, like a gold pack could actually get you, say, like a player that you can add to your team. You know, might be third or fourth line, might be blue line D, might be backup goalie for synergies. I don't know, but could also be one of your best players, honestly. At least like super early on, and then later it became a thing of like just hoping to get, open 100 of those things and hoping to get one player that you could either move permanently, unlikely, or that you can move during specific setups for your squad. So that was cool, and I liked that they did that. I haven't seen any of the talk about what's happening for 20 as far as expectations to change that. I know they're looking to sell pre-orders of 20 right now that include World of Shell bags as well. But they're also doing, it's on the screen, so we'll talk about it. They're also doing up to X, I think it's only like 8 HUT Diamond packs. Compared to this year, it was like 20 weeks. Was that right? It would have been two. It would have been 2 gold packs per week, right? So it would have been, yeah, the high end. I'll admit I'm an idiot. I bought the high end one. I got like nothing for it, but it was basically 40 packs if you logged in and actually got them. So I ended up with less than 40. I got. If I guessed, I'd say probably like 32, which isn't that bad, but it's still not the 40 that I feel like you should get, just based off the fact that you spent the money that you spent and said you were going to get the thing you were going to get. But yeah, in those packs, as I said, for me at least, and not just like competitively speaking, not just like against other players, because again, I don't play online. I'm not good enough, and it's beyond frustrating. But just even being able to play through and get progression in the game versus CPU single player, it was definitely much more impactful with those kind of packs, or any other kind of special packs that might come out that were supposedly better than those very early in the game, compared to, I don't know, even in some cases, depending on who you are and what you're talking about, like maybe a month in, certainly 2 months in, before the year was out, by the time Christmas came around, gold packs were nothing, absolutely nothing. Again, you'd probably have to open 1,000 to get one good player that you could add to your squad. So, yes, this did not come from the 8-hour login pack. I don't recall, and unfortunately I have not done it enough to get the legend Chelios, which is insane. But whatever that, I don't know if I think it's 400 times. Somehow I've not done it 400 times. I mean, that's what happens when you take 2 months off twice in a year, I guess. The numbers suggest I should be a lot closer than I am. But yeah, I still don't have that, so I haven't opened up as many of those. But the ones that I have opened, so it's more than 300 times that I've opened those, and I do not recall ever getting a gold, at all, any gold, even the lowest overall with the worst synergies and ratings that make you question how they were gold in the first place, which is what, like a 72, I think, overall gold common, and clearly no gold rares in those packs, but it's still fine, and you're getting 3 for free a day. So at least for me, as far as like sets and being able to turn in your Sakic, which this month you then were able to turn in with your draft cards to bump them up to a 99, and that 99 Joe Sakic's with the added Face-Off Master synergy that is and has been forever activated on my team, that gives him a minimum of +2 onto his already 96 overall face-off stat, his face stat for that card when upgraded to 99, which boosts it to a minimum of 98, if not 99, and things don't go higher than 99 in this game. I don't think I've won a single face-off outside of playing team of the week / team of the year. On rookie level, have not won a single meaningful face-off with Sakic. And yes, he is my first line centerman. That's probably a poor choice, but he's so great on everything else because my team is not that good, that I kind of want him there. So I don't know. I'll have to move it, I guess, at some point, and then see if I can do better with somebody such as, say, Messier. And considering that he's my next legend upgrade this month, I'll probably look at what he's currently working with face-offs and see what that would change to. Although I don't think that I get to see the face stats or even the synergy changes on the upgrade prior to doing it, because they are untradeable. So unless somebody's got that content, I wouldn't know. And those are monthly upgrade, monthly. I think the 8-hour check-in, July monthly collectibles that you need, and requires, I think, 26. So considering we're 3 days in, and the first day prior to like, I don't know, prior to what time does this thing change? 2 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. I think that's the time change. So prior to whatever that time is, on July 1st, they were still June collectibles, and yet I still have excess June collectibles because I didn't have enough to turn in for my whatever it needed. I think I needed like 6 to be able to get probably a gold rare pack. And an hour in, you'd think, well, who cares, man? What do you need a gold rare player pack for? You're never gonna get anything good out of that. Well, part of the reason why I actually, from what I could tell, outside of obviously those that are anonymous because they're basically cheating and hacking and shit like that. I did not see any public figure, including EA Game Changers, who, God love them, people like Thrash,
were doing sets like crazy, and mostly through the channel trying to convince other people that they should be doing sets like crazy as well. And yet, I had Sakic first. I didn't see any player in the game through YouTube, and if somebody was obviously at this level, which is 5 subscribers and no viewers ever, all the way up to probably, I don't know, probably at least like 5,000 subs or more, then they could have gotten lost in the wash, and I wouldn't have noticed. But I did not see, because people were super psyched when they got it, and people were super psyched when they were like close. They were like making videos about like, oh, I'm only X away from being able to get it. At the time, it was a great card, and now it's 99. But you know, it's a 99 in a game that has hundreds of 99s now, unfortunately. So yeah, I had it first. It's like the only, I don't think that even counts as like a claim to fame, but it's like literally like the only like positive thing that I did. I don't want to call it an accomplishment. In NHL19 this year. That's it. That's all I did. One thing. It's not even that great. And the card, in my opinion, the card was good at the time. It's better now, obviously, but comparatively speaking, if you could buy it, there's people probably like Sleeveless who would be able to tell you. I don't know, man. He might have like 10 names that he would tell you to pick up over the 99 Sakic. He might even have people that aren't even 99 overalls that he'd have specific rationale for why it would be better choices. And in my opinion, he's been mostly right on most everything that he said this year, and I'm really hoping he's back for Game Changers next year. If I am even going to bother with watching YouTube content during next year's content. So, anyways, moving to the fucking point, if we can ever fucking get there. So this is part of what that process was for me forever, in getting to that, which is the trade-in sets. So you start with, and they obviously have the specials, and that's where you get the crazy good shit, obviously, but it costs quite a bit if you don't already have those things for the special trade-ins. So unfortunately for me, I didn't get much of a chance to do very much of that outside of the only exception being the it's so painful, the Halloween Bufflin, the 90 overall, and you know, if I'm going to come back after a couple months, I guess I have to talk for 2 seconds. And I do mean 2 seconds, because I'm not going to belabor this. I do have to talk for 2 seconds about this as well. It's one of the reasons why I made significant adjustments to my squad and to what I was putting out there on the channel, which I don't know if it's even the same channel as this one's going out to right now or not. I just know neither one of them are existing channels that are monetized. Yeah, because I sold that Bufflin missing a 0, so it kind of like a decimal point, but you know, like, so I don't know what that means. I think I probably sold it for like 40K, maybe 45K, as opposed to 400 or 450K. So a pretty significant I mean, it's 10%, but I mean, it's a pretty significant difference. And I looked lately just at what a couple people were offering today, probably trying to gouge people that were just coming into the game at the very end. And it seemed as though folks were still trying to get people to give them more than that, more than around, but more than 45K for that particular card. And that was Halloween. You know, that was like 9 months ago. So sad. So that made us I just like was ready to give up the game, but it was my only game. I got RDR2 the month after, so luckily I had 2 games at that point, and then expanded greatly into this year. personally, not so much in terms of broadcast or anything like that. But point being, like that was a huge letdown, and so I basically just moved over into trying to create the best possible untradeable squad that I could, and so I did a bunch of sets, and that's where the sack came in so quickly. And so you start, that was what I was starting to talk about. So in the trade-in sets, the regular trade-in sets, you start with 5 bronze players to a silver, to a silver common, 5 silver commons to a silver rare. And I'm not saying that incorrectly. It's literally 5 to 1. So 5 silver commons give you 1 silver rare, and then 5 silver rares give you 1 gold common. And at this point in the game, that is super key because they've already ripped gold rares away from us for some reason, and no one seems to be able to tell me why. Those 5 silver rares turn into 1 gold common. You get 5 of those gold commons together, and you get to do a gold rare player pack. You can also do the reroll and take 2 existing gold rare players and do a reroll and see what kind of gold rare you get from that. Now you can watch basically any of the content ever since September of last year from Thrash on the gold rare reroll player pack yada yadas, and you'll see he's got good stuff. People comment during the live streams when he does it, and I think he's shared some of that as well. Other people got good stuff too. Much like those folks, I personally felt like I was getting much better polls on that specifically earlier in the year than I was later, and I wouldn't say I got completely frustrated and annoyed, because it's like, if I have 2 cards that are already untradeable gold rares and they have no business coming anywhere close to being on my team, even though my team is terrible, but like I don't need an 80 or an 81 or even an 84 or 5 in some cases, depending on where they play and their face stats or their synergies and stuff like that. So if I have no interest in the card and it's by definition it's untradeable, I cannot trade the card, which I think I will be able to click back and you'll be able to see this. I'll do that. I'll do it at the very end though, just in case, because I kind of forget. But because it's by definition untradeable, you can't quick sell for even 1 coin. You can't put it on the market for whatever the minimum would be. I think it's 50. It's probably 50 coins with 100 buy now. If you did a buy now. So like you can't even do that. So if there's no point to it, and unlike a lot of the squad building challenges from FIFA 19, that from best I can tell that came from previous years in FIFA as well. There were I felt like a ton of trade-ins in Madden 19. They call it 19 or 20? Yeah, 19, Madden 19 this year as well. I've yet to have MLB 19 on my hands. I had 18, and again, there also quite a bit of trade-ins, etc. But without going off into that whole thing, it's weirder though, because there are parts of catalogs, and so it's not just cards that you'd be trading in. It's also like you have to get a specific card, like you got to get Bobby from Finland here, and then you gotta score 50 goals with him in under certain criteria, like on world class level or some shit. It's in my opinion, it's fucking weird. But admittedly, that's not an EA game. That's Sony. Out in San Diego, so it's whatever. But just comparatively speaking, this particular game, unlike I think basically all the other ones that I just mentioned, didn't really have a thing outside of like some special events in which it was like, okay, take X and then I don't know, whatever other things, like these 3 or 4 other ones as well that also meet this criteria. And in this case, they call them sets. So put them into a set, and you'll pop out, this thing. In my month coming back in the last whatever the hell it's been, 5 days, it I like it. It seems cool that they're doing quite a bit more. Well, they were doing quite a bit more on both the monthly upgrade sets as well as our sets, and we still have free agency sets. Even though, unfortunately, almost exclusively this game's drivers have been collectibles, and you can just look at the collectible graveyard that I have in my quote unquote collection to see the absolute lack of value that those things have. If they ever had any, the lack of value that they end up having once the event ends. And so if you're on today and it's July 3rd and it's about to change over, and you were thinking that the thing was good until July 4th, and you think you got an extra 24 hours to do whatever, go out there and get their collectibles, yada yada yada, and then you don't. You log on and you notice that, wow, you suddenly have a lot more items in your inbox than you thought you did before. What's going on there? And you look and you've got all these useless collectibles. Especially the untradeable ones are the ones that hurt the most. And the other ones, I personally am not the type where I'm not trying to dupe anybody and drop a collectible that has no value for anywhere close to what it was before, or trying to compare it to like an actual existing collectible. Like right now, I don't know if All-Star collectibles have any value at all, whereas the free agency ones would. Is there a difference? I think they're all just draft collectibles, right? That shows you I haven't been around. I had enough to bump up my Sakic, and that's all I really gave a shit about, honestly. But either way, if they are different, I don't know. But if they were, it would be like, today or yesterday or whatever it was, whenever the All-Star sets / event ended, if that had a collectible specific to it, then coming on here today and comparing it to what the free agency collectibles were going for. And again, I don't think they are actually different, but if they were, because they always have been when they've done events, trying to then pass off the dead one for close to the value for what the other one's going for, maybe drop down the price a little bit, if only because despite generally some improvements and some detractions, and overall some improvements to the market system and the mechanics of being able to sort through things and find what you're looking for, still quite a bit lacking there, and yeah, you can end up in a spot where I guess if you're not paying attention, you can end up picking up something that's significantly different than what you were expecting to. But for this particular game at this particular time in July, probably doesn't make much of a difference. Probably one of the few people outside of the Game Changers that are still playing this. I don't know if there's a 20 beta. I know there was a 19 beta, and that well before now, I felt like people were already on that last year. So if you're on that, I don't know how you would decide to split your time between that and this, especially if like Sleeveless, your team was 99 like when I was still playing more than 2 months ago. So I guess you could be looking to improve how 99 your 99 is, but it's whatever. Hour and 15 minutes, really? Okay, so let's get to the point. So to get a gold rare player pack, outside of, apparently now there's ways to do it through different like trade-in sets and monthly collectibles and stuff like that, and also completing some of the events, meaning like not the competitive events, not the CS or CE, but the just the single player versus CPU stuff, which is cool. So thanks for that, guys. I mean that sincerely. I mean, an hour and 50 minutes in, you probably think I'm just giving you shit, and I could have been for like 6 months, but currently I'm not. I actually do. I don't need any more contracts or consumables packs, clearly. But I mean, honestly, I would take bronze packs over getting nothing, and so therefore, clearly, I would take silver packs over getting nothing, and gold packs or whatever. Um, so yeah, you give me a gold player pack for, I don't know, scoring 3 goals, winning the game, and having no penalties. Yeah, I'll take it. It's fine. Now I already pointed out that I've had over 300 of these things, and I believe that my best pull in the gold rare player pack, whether through the 2 gold rare for 1 gold rare reroll, or for the 5 common for 1 gold rare set trade in, regardless of which one of those I had done. And again, I'd done oh, that number's actually not 300. I'm confusing myself. That's the number of times I've done the login thing for the Chelios. I don't know if I could check my stats somewhere. I don't think so. It's not very like the GUI's not really designed for that. But yeah, I don't know. I've probably done like 1,000 sets at this point, like 1,000 gold rare sets. And so yeah, I get it. Instead of trying to upgrade to a better gold rare player, even though it would have taken forever to do, I should have been taking 5 of those gold rares and trading them in for a gold collectible, and then taking 10 of those and carboning those out, and actually having either Gretzky or Lemieux or both on my team. Problem is, that would have created me having either half or every legend that exists in the game, and almost every single legend that you can get through the standard legend trade-in upgrade process is practically worthless. Clearly the 99s, the Gretzky and Lemieux, are probably not that bad, even compared to the influx of tons and tons of 99s that are in the game now. But the rest, yeah, no bueno. You're not really looking to get an 87, 88, 89 overall legend onto your team at this point, especially if it's going to cost you the equivalent of 300,000 coins just to process it and to create it yourself, and knowing that in the end, you could sell it for like 15,000 coins, which is also to say that you could just buy the legend for 15,000 if you actually wanted the card, but nobody wants the card. I have one sitting in my inbox and I'm not even touching it, and that's an 89, and that's a very good player historically. Anyways, get to the point. So I've done probably thousands of these things, and yeah, I should have carboned them out, and should have been doing it from the very beginning, and then should have just been selling those legends along the way when they still had high value, as opposed to now when they have none. But I did not, so this is where we are. So I did autofill on the 5 gold commons. I don't have 5 at the moment, and I don't feel like paying again, as I've tried to do a couple times in the last couple of days just for the hell of it. It's not worth it. I don't feel like paying whatever it is that I'm going to be required to pay, 14, 15, 1,600 coins per card to fill out my list of 5 to be able to do that trade-in. So this instead is the gold rare reroll. I know I took 80 minutes to get to the point, but we're there. So I was going to say the best that I ever got, and I don't think I ever actually finished that. I have a Brett Hull base legend card that should be an 88. I pulled that, so almost 100% positive that's the best ever pull. Goalies were a bit weird. I've now at this point I've pulled Billy Smith like 3 or 4 times, and it was a big deal for me the first time that I did pull it, because that was only like 3 or 4 months ago. It was back when I was still trying to play and still wasn't competitive. And Smith is an 87, and then no, Hextall's lower. Hudry was actually the first. Hudry or Olczyk, one of the two, were the first legends that I ever upgraded, and I haven't bothered to upgrade very many. I've done those two and Numanen. I know I was close. I don't know if I ended up finishing it with Ty Domi. I specifically say his first name there so people don't get confused with Max or somebody else. I don't think I think at that point values had declined. Comparatively, the cost compared to the output was so far out of whack that I just said screw it and just didn't pursue it anymore. But I was gonna do Domi and I don't think I did. And I even at that time I had no place on my team for him. So I'll give it up. The other one that I was talking about that's in my inbox that I'm not using is Trevor Linden. That's an 89 overall, and just has no place on my team, and has no value in the marketplace. So that's what's that? Hudry, Olczyk, Numanen, Linden. There's a 90 overall forward. When you upgrade it, like Linden being the 89, there's a 90 that I wanted badly early on, and I think I think the game came with like a loan card of his that for some reason I'm brain farting and can't even think of who I'm even talking about. That I definitely wanted to do at that time, and now I pretty much don't. So I'm almost 100% that I did not do that one. And so that's probably about it. I'm super far away from being like touching distance of being able to have my choice between Gretzky or Lemieux. And the amount of carbons and just even the amount of gold collectibles required to do that is I'm not going to do it at this point. I don't think so. It is what it is. I think I got into that because I was talking about the 88 base, the base 88 Brett Hull, which you can upgrade to, I believe, a 94. The base, because in these rerolls, as far as the legends that are available for upgrades, the best you can ever get is the base. You can never get like the true legend card. I guess there's a chance that you could get a true legend card if the true legend card is quote unquote available in packs. Technically, anything that is listed as available in packs in the sales info on the hut main screen, they're supposed to be available in packs, and if they're available in packs in the stores, they're supposed to be available in this pack, specifically the gold rare player pack, even if the percentages of getting anything outside of like an 80, 81, maybe an 82 overall, not special, just standard, like came with the game in September and didn't even make your team at that time, the chances of getting something outside of that are basically like 0.05%. But I have had some decent pulls, and at this point now I've got basically everything that's 85 plus for base cards, but still not like all the alumni. I don't think. Shit. Like obviously I've got Boom Boom. I mean everyone's got Boom Boom. I've got probably 4 versions of him. And I did not do the upgrade there. I want at least one example of one who's on offense and so therefore matters. Um, who's got an upgrade that I don't have the base card for. Oh, well, Paul Coffey. So I mean, he's his legend card for my team at this point would probably make my squad because of his offensive capabilities. Shit, you know what? Actually, I might have his base card, and if I do, I would have it because of it being untradeable. Even though I could just go buy it for like 6,000 coins. So I actually might even have that. I was trying to think of one that I don't have. I'm pretty sure I've got. For some reason, I feel like I've got like most of them, which means nothing. I mean, they're from like Olchik is in '82. There might be somebody that's in '81 that I can't think of, and then higher end, obviously like Hulls, as I said, '88. Anybody started '89? Yeah, Coffee's probably, I don't know. Coffee's 87, 88, or 89. I can't think off the top of my head, unfortunately. But point being, like, I'm almost a billion% positive that none of them are 90, and therefore none of them are above 90. And those are the base alumni available for Legend upgrade process, which is useless at this point. Hopefully, the collectibles, etc., will just drop to like, you know, Goldman Sachs stock valuations in 2008, and so that those of us that want to do it on the sly after everyone's done playing the game very cheaply, just to have something completed that we wanted to do back in last September and have never been anywhere remotely close to being able to do, and that would be cool. And then yeah, a lot of the base like regular player cards picked up some specials, and being untradeable, that means I would be able to not get rid of them. So like it was a Blake Wheeler, it was like an 86 or an 88, I forget which, that I had for a very long time. The blue one, so what's that? That's probably shit. Was it? Because now the player of the week is the player of the year, and they got the crystals and shit on there, and it is technically blue, but I don't know if that's because it's St. Louis Blues. Yeah, I think that's a play. I don't know. It's the blue Blake. It doesn't matter. The blue Blake Wheeler was an 86 or 88. I picked that up, and had a special Kuznetsov as well, and stuff like that. So I had good pickups in my opinion, but I did like a billion of them, and an hour and a half in, 90 minutes. You know, the point is like that's what this is, and this is crazy in my opinion in terms of what this is compared to what I've been able to get previously. So very clearly the highest overall, because technically it's up there as far as top 5 highest overall players that I have on my entire team. Because I think Sakic was like a 94 before I upgraded him to 99, which is obviously now the highest I have on my team. Messier's legend is up there. I think he's a 96. And then again, I missed the whole kind of middle group, so I don't have Roenick. I don't have whoever else. So like Ferrara was a 88. You can upgrade that, but to like I think maybe it's like a 95 is where they max that at. And that one might have gone away. I don't remember if that's part of the current one or not, because I don't really care as much. I'm looking to do the Messier one. Probably I'll look at the face stats and see how much a +3 will get me. But even with synergy boost, it might be worth it. We will see. Anyway, back to the actual point. Yeah, Messier's monthly legend, I believe, was like a 96, so he would have been my highest. And then the other legends basically would have all been the other highest ones as well. I might have gotten like one current player special card at like exactly 90. Maybe. I don't think I even got like even a 91. And if I did, they'd be on my team right now. So I feel like I would know that. Um, yeah, I think yeah, I have the what is that? Is that I don't think that was Halloween. Some sort of special event. Maybe it was like Christmas or some shit. I have a Vander Kane's like 90 overall. I think it's 90 overall special card. Um, that obviously was an untradeable. Otherwise, I would have tried to get the value for it when it was still there. Um, and he's I yeah, I'm a huge fan of his card in this game. Understanding that the all these additions, I'm sure, have passed him and others by. Although if his 90 plays like that, I mean, whatever his highest is, which is probably a 99 also, is probably a pretty sweet card. Probably one that I would want, but don't feel like paying 3 million coins for, because I don't even have 30,000 coins. So yeah, I have that. I don't know what the hell that is. Again, it's like blue, and it looks kind of like the Halloween stuff, but I have no idea. I felt like it was more Christmassy. Um, and yeah, that'd be about it. Oh, I have a. I don't think this counts though, because I think this was just like a giveaway that they just gave us, where it was like you had to have something, and then you traded in with like 5 monthly upgrades, or maybe you had to complete a single player event or something. But I have a PK Subban that's, I think he's like on the Canadians. He's an 89, and it's the old school like brown paper bag look to it. I think we were like given the choice as to like which team version we wanted of his or something. I don't know. But of course I missed the month of logging in which everyone got a 99 awards version of his. I actually tried that month, but like I was way short. So I do not have that, and so his 89 actually plays for me on D. So there you go. There's another 89. And I mean, honestly, that's really about it. I don't even really have the majority of my squad. Basically, just kind of chills in that that 87 to 89 range. And when I finally get to the analysis of this card, I'll point out how there's some that can maybe be a little bit lower than that. In what the fuck? How did I've been sitting here for 90 minutes. How is it that I did not just earn extra rewards unrelated to this game or gaming or Sony? Must just be a promo that they sent to me. Not gonna trick me with the noise, you bastards. Yeah, okay, let's get to the point. 94 minutes in. So I traded in two gold rares. Took a huge risk there, man. Huge risk. Traded in a base alumni Eddie Olczyk, 82 overall. As I already pointed out. Already done the upgrade. You can only upgrade once. So completely useless, which is cool. Other than just to like go into my 35 people that I've got in my inbox of base level alumni that I probably am never going to be able to do anything with. That would be one that I literally can never do anything with other than trade him in. So I traded him in with I want to be super specific with this if I can remember. I can remember. An 83 overall base gold rare Phil Kessel. I mean, what the fuck? First of all, no offense, Bobby L from Finland, the 25-year-old, again making $920K a year, 6 foot, 183 pounds, shoots from the right, over there on the left side. Um, yeah, no offense to Bobby here, but like, there's, you know, if you if you had like one of those like question mark magic boxes there, and like you told me that inside was the collection of Phil Kessel cards that exist in this game, and there was an exactly identical slash even chance of getting any of them. So like the one that I traded, the 83 overall base gold rare, like that has one set of let's just make it easy and say he's got 10 fucking cards. He doesn't. He has got more than that, but let's just say he's got 10 cards and the lowest one starts at 83, and there aren't any other ones that are lower than that. So that's the bottom one, and then there's 9 others, and they all have exactly a 10% chance of being inside that box. And I had to give up this card to have the opportunity to open that box. Just being honest, I'd probably open the box. Even though a lot of Phillies face stats are, like a lot of players in the game, just very much out of whack, and leave you lacking for what could have been. But yeah, that 83, had it, don't need it. Was totally fine getting rid of it. So 82 overall base alumni Eddie Olczyk, along with 83 base gold rare, not special in any way, regular, was available in September, as was the Olczyk, September 11th to be specific, of last year. Phil Kessel, both of which would have been picked up in previous gold rare rerolls. So I mean, these aren't like cards that have just been chilling forever, because clearly if they had been, the fine folks over at EA Vancouver would have turned them into loan cards available for only 2 more games for some strange reason that no one has been able to explain to me yet. Point being, trade in those 2 cards, and this was the result. This is what I got. Generally, in most sports games that are based off of overall ratings and cards that you use to fill out squads and potentially play with or whatever, generally speaking, even in an untradeable format, I would argue, if you're going to trade in an 82 and an 83, you're probably going to be pretty fine and pretty okay with picking up a 94 overall. So let's dig into the card here real quick. As I said, I was immediately looking to try to see if I could track down the mic, even though, hey, there's somebody in the room. If you are logged into YouTube and able to comment, please just like type a letter and hit enter. I just need to know if you can hear my mic, because I haven't done a mic in like 2 months, and I tried to look at settings, but I'm an hour and 40 minutes in, and I don't actually even know 100% if the mic is even live or hot and broadcasting. You might not be logged in, so you might not be able to comment. Anyway, this was a gold rare reroll. I just saw the one now. I don't know if you were in here when I said this. I traded in base alumni, untradeable Eddie Olczyk that I had already done the legend for, so it was useless to me. And 83 overall base gold rare Phil Kessel, also never going to make my team. Both coming from previous gold rare rerolls. And this is what I picked up, 94 overall. Robert, I'm guessing it's Lino, or Lano maybe, I don't know. He's Finnish. Synergies for those that care, 1 each for the boys, Dangle Zone and Call the Shot. And he's 94 overall and he's a Hut Diamond, so I did honestly get very excited when this first popped up, not just because it's my best pull ever since September, as far as the person's gone, so I'm going to go back to talking to myself. As far as the gold rare rerolls, it clearly is the best, at least the best overall, and probably, I'd say probably the best card that I've pulled in that process from start to finish. So super stoked at first, especially because I saw the 94 and I looked down and I saw a 99 skate, and I got to be honest, I saw 87 shot and I wasn't super close to the TV screen, and I thought that said 97. and I was like, oh well, I would like that to be higher, but that's it's cool, and clearly it's not. Of course, the shot stat is the lowest of the 5, and you create through the other stuff that, at least back when I was playing 2.5, 3 months ago, most of the other stuff did not matter at all. Handles could matter a little bit at times. Checking meant nothing, and defense meant pretty much nothing, even if the devs were convincing sleeveless gaming that at least defensive awareness face stat meant that, like they would have, not when you're controlling them, of course, but when the CPU, and also like not if you're trying to quote unquote skill zone either. So I guess when you're playing for real, but you just don't happen to be controlling this particular player, their defensive awareness stat was supposed to be a factor in their ability to be able to disrupt the offense, typically in the form of either pass interception or at least deflection, and again being able to, as I said, just disrupt the flow, supposedly. And again, that was 2.5 months ago. They've probably done 17 different updates since then. So yeah, so again, unless those things have changed, I would, as far as the base 5 stats on the card, again, 99, 87, 93, 92, 92. I only really care about the first 2. So the last 3, they kind of go in descending order in terms of how much I care about them. So handles at 93, I'm kind of cool with. Would be glad that it's not garbage. But that's where it ends for me. And then just kind of disappointment, quite frankly, in knowing that that 93, 92, and 92 are going to have some face stats that are going to play a factor in creating his 94 overall, and not coming where I want them. They're there as far as skates. He's 99s across the board. Every single skate stat is 99. If you want a fast player, it's not possible to be any quicker. 99 is the max in this game. They do not go any higher. Trying to think of those. For the boys, adds to acceleration, but it's not going to for him. So like it's still going to be 99. So acceleration, agility, balance, speed, all 99. That's fucking crazy, man. That is crazy. I have fast cards. I've had fast cards since I was one of the first ones to be smart enough to realize that the 78 overall base gold common Anthony Duclair was in the 90s for his skate stat, when everyone else was trying to jump on traditionally fast players like Patrick Kane or whatever, that were going for in some cases like 10 times as much as far as their cost. Not to say that like the Patrick Kane cards are fine. The point was Duclair was fast, and now they've added all these young kids, and all the young kids are super fast. So yeah, 99s across the board. His endurance is the only one of those top 5 stats that's not exactly 99. It's at 94. And I don't know, at least for me, I don't know if they made a significant adjustment, or if I just don't remember it being as it is now. It seems as though my guys are getting like easily tired, and yeah, I do button mash, and I am way too much on the sprint button, even though I'm cycling through the players quite a bit. So it's not like I'm just killing the endurance of one particular player or whatever. But I have noticed that like even in first player games that are only 2-minute periods, my fourth line gets out there. Suddenly I got 86 overall team of the week. So the blue card was not team of the week. It was the other thing. What was the other thing? What did they do? What do they call those specials? They're big. Their performance, something of a performance. Damn it, man. I don't know. So one was supposed to be like if you had a great week, and one was supposed to be if you had like a not a good play, but like a good performance, like a single good game. Um, and I think it was Ovi, right, for like a while, like was only maybe or Kuznetsov. There were certain players that like were capable of getting the blue one, and like couldn't get the team of the week for whatever the team of the week criteria was. They weren't able to get there. Not like ever. I'm sure they've gotten some since then. I think there's currently like a 98 overall team of the week Ovi. But there's also a 98 overall team of the year Ovi, so whatever. So I'm sure they've gotten some, but there was a period there where it seemed like they weren't capable of getting any. They were just getting the blue ones. So yeah, the team of the week, that was more of like a black with yellow. And that's my fourth line. I got an 86 overall Patrice Bergeron, which, hey, you know what? I mean, give me a higher overall Bergeron that has, you can guess based off of that particular card which of the synergies he might have that I'm looking for, face-off master and maybe anything else. And I would take it. I'll go +2. I'll go plus 13 if you want me to. And I'd gladly add a different Bergie to my team. But the 86 has been there for a very long time. It's just that he's dropped off of. I think he was. I don't think he was my frontline center. He might have played a game or two up there. So he's probably, because he's always been good at faceoffs, he's probably been my second line center for most of the year. But now he's just kind of at the back of the line, and I'm not really finding a ton of players that fit into either the third or fourth line on offense or the third line on defense. Just because I'm still stuck on playing specific synergies, and I'm not getting a ton of upgrades, in my opinion. So that fourth line is Bergie in center. He's got face-off master, and his face-offs are good as opposed to every center in the game. And then I think I might have changed this recently because I just got another decent good card to add as well. But I think before I changed it, my fourth line right winger would have been the base monthly upgrade legend Ray Ferraro, 88 overall, which I guess will bump to whatever, like a 94, 95, I think. And I'll take a look to see if that's worth grinding for, if I even am capable of it, because I don't know if I am or not. But yeah, he was fourth line right side, and as far as like, being my 10th or 11th, not playing center, which I don't, because a lot of centers end up playing on the wings because they're terrible at faceoffs and good at other stuff. So being my 10th or 11th kind of fastest, but also not severely lacking in other stats player for a long time, that's where he was situated. And over on the left side on that line, I think, man, who was it? Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. It could have been like the 92 Spezza that we all got during the Evo process. He's somewhere there. I don't know. He's on the third and fourth line somewhere. I don't know if he's right or left or whatever. I honestly don't remember, because I've been kind of jumbling things around a little bit and messing with between my second and third lines. But like those two I mentioned, Spezza and Ferrara, for me, even on a terrible team, which my team is terrible, even on a terrible team, neither are good enough to make the top two, really, unless I'm doing something kind of funky. But either way, yeah, that fourth line, I'm seeing them out there way too often, in my opinion. I'm seeing the blue line on D out there way too often. I'll give away a secret because I'm not planning on selling mine. I think mine's probably untradeable. It's a 77 overall. I'm sure there's better cards out there, especially now that everything in the world is 94, 95 to 99. It's a 77 overall, considered a silver rare. Wait, what? No. Hold on. Yeah, he's considered a silver rare. Maybe he'd be considered a gold. 77 means he'd be a gold common. But I think maybe he's not a 77. Maybe he's lower. But he's not in the 60s. Maybe he's a 71? I have no fucking idea at this point. Anyways, you can look him up. I'm gonna butcher his name. First name I believe is Alex. And something like Trevoletto. He's clearly Italian. And like the Italian flag is on his card. I think it's like a Hut international card or something. So it comes with extra synergies, and I get it. There's a bunch of cards out there now that are adding, a fuck ton of synergies. The Austin Matthews that I apparently have like 3 or 4 more days left on loan, by himself adds to one-timer efficiency without any other cards. Like by himself, he gives you the full 10 out of 10 that you need, because he gives two 5 points or whatever the hell, I don't even know. So yeah, Trevoletto, he hits the things that I like, which should be pretty clear at this point. I like for the boys, I like call a shot. I like burner, and I like face off master. I like a couple other things, the main ones. And because of weird stuff at the moment, like the Austin Matthews that will be gone and I won't be able to replace, things are a bit out of whack. My FB and my BU are both like 12 and 13 out of 10. So that'll come down certainly when Matthews goes away, and there might be one other weird one out there right now. I don't know. But point being, that the Trevoletto is my third line LD, and he's out there a lot. And for me, because I don't bother, especially playing first player in a lot of games that don't have a lot of significant meaning to them, I don't bother with like setups and like trying to select my lines and using custom like controller layouts, etc. So it just, when it pops up for me, I don't like, I think it tells you, I don't know. I think it might tell you who your forward line is. Whether it does or not, it's going to list if you've got 3 out there, or if you're a man down, it'll list just the 2, and then obviously in overtime it lists just the 2. In some cases just the 1, your center. But it'll tell you who your front 3 are, but it doesn't tell you your D. And so then like there might be times where I won't even know the Trevoletto was even out there. I think that's how you say his name. Sorry if I keep fucking butchering that, but I won't even know that he was even out there unless he like scores or has an assist, and I suddenly see the card pop up, and in my head I'm kind of like, what are you doing out there? Like, you're supposed to be like a fill-in. Like, you should not be in at this point in the game. But he is, and it is what it is, and it's fine. I'm gonna move on. Anyway, I'm gonna make this less than 2 hours, God willing. So can't really complain with 99s across the board on skating. And actually, as I said, for the boys, I think can probably add 1 to acceleration. I don't know if it adds +1 to any other skate stats, but dangle zone does not, and call the shot is, as expected, basically just about shooting. And so, and all those are already activated for me anyways, on my current squad. So I'm gonna probably add him. I'll find a spot for him somewhere, even if he's just filling in for synergy and I don't feel like he's adequate enough to play. Because the thing is, again, on the back three base stats, handles, checks, and defense, it's great that he's 93, 92, 92, but it's whatever. I don't really care. And I'm trying to pick one out. I mean, like, great, 98 hand-eye, cool. That'll probably be helpful. That's a 9, right? And 95 passing. So even though he's a right-handed left winger, that kind of speed, I could see putting him out there on the right side, but probably like fourth line, maybe third if he gets lucky, because he can't shoot. And that's what fucking matters here. So his accuracy, both slap and wrist, which therefore should also include, pardon me. Anyway, I was going to try to make a stupid joke there, but I won't. The accuracies are both 85. His slap shot power is 88, and his wrist shot power is 90. So, like, if I was looking to have, offense on defense, generally I'd be looking for slap shot power over wrist shot power if I, had the choice of being able to switch those two and have the other one be 90 as opposed to 88. Even though I've definitely felt like since I did that, since Sleeveless told me to do that, like 4 months ago, that a lot of shots seem like they come in as like either a mix between the two, or you'd expect them to be slap shots and they're not. Like a one timer to not be more slap than wrist doesn't make a ton of sense for me, and I guess that's because I don't really understand hockey, if I'm being honest. But either way, they're not good enough. You get called a shot, but I mean, then you'd compare that to basically anybody else that's in the 88 to 90 range that also has called a shot activated, because that is not a team-based synergy, that's a player synergy, so that you get the boost on that. So I mean, like, let's say it's a +2 on both of those, then you're talking about slap shot power at 90 and wrist shot power at 92, and the accuracy is going to 87. It's not bad. But I mean, I've got Hut Diamonds that are 80, 84, 85, 86, maybe 87 max, that have basically 99, certainly 96 to 99 on power, and maybe a bit lacking on accuracy. And when I say a bit lacking, basically this, like 85s, certainly in the 80s, like 80 at the lowest, and also come with huge speed. Generally not 99s across the board, but like, speed could be 99, and some of the other stats are certainly like, say, 95 or thereabouts. So I feel like this is a severely lacking card. I don't know how much it goes for in the market. I might actually check that out as I go to finish this up, just to see like what people are willing to pay for this kind of card. But yeah, as we wrap this up here, he will make the squad. He'll make the team in some capacity. You know what? I'll put him on D, or he'll be at best my third line right side. That's it. And my team's shit. Like 94 overall means he is my second highest overall card, behind the Sakic, or third, I guess, behind Sakic and Messier. So I'm gonna hit back now and see if it goes to the screen. It should, right? There you go. So there you go. I wasn't lying. Untradeable, came from the trade-in. So there you go. So you can see from this screen, especially where it wasn't being zoomed in, etc. Got pretty finish under 2. I'm sorry, but 94 overall, 99 skate caught my eye. Saw 9s, thought it said 97, got excited, and then clicking in, less excited. So it's whatever. 90, 88, fine. Add 2 with call a shot. Accuracy 85, maybe add 2 to 87 for those, fine. But I'm going to play him for speed and other things for now, even though I'm not upgrading my team and I'm not finding any upgrades that are coming naturally other than this. This is like the best This is one of the best upgrades that I've received from trade-ins / sets thus far, and yeah, I'm gonna play. I'll tell you who they are. I don't give a shit. People, they're probably selling them for like 20K at this point. But I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say either one of their names. So his first name I think is Arthur, which makes it easier. Um, Kaliev is on the one side, and Peyton Krebs is on the other. I play him on the same line with a center who can actually get face-offs, which I think at this point is second line with Messier, and it's just insane. They're super quick. They're good overall, and then their shots are just there. It doesn't matter whether I'm passing right to left, left to right, and they don't necessarily hold to their positions at all times. Especially if I'm holding possession in my zone long enough. I will see particularly those two cards, those two players, as well as some others, be willing to cycle their way through and try to find those spots, as opposed to just, playing grade school version of floor hockey, of just one person having the puck the entire time and just running around with it until they can find a chance to shoot from further out than they should be shooting. So here we go. We'll put it up there again. I mean, it was up there for 2 hours. It definitely should be the thumbnail automatically, but I guess I will go in and change that if not. There you go. Bobby Lino from Finland, 94 overall. Pretty decent card. He plays for HPK. And again, I'm not shitting on the card at all. I'm just being honest that as excited as I was, it's not like he becomes my front line left winger. I'd rather have my 90 overall Evander Kane there. I would, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And he probably doesn't supersede my lower rated Hut Diamonds that are also in those positions on the second line either. He might. I don't think so though. Because their shots are better, and I'd have to look at the difference between their skate face stats. I might put him in for one versus the other for like a game or two and try him out. We'll see. So that's not nothing. That's something. That's worth something. And either way, he's making the team for now. And as I said, I'm not getting a bunch of upgrades, generally speaking, and the ones that I am looking to do. Like the monthly legends, whether it's Messier, Ferraro. I don't know if Madonna made that list yet or not. When I did Sakic, but there were like 60 days left to do whatever the other one was that came with that one, and I missed whatever the other one was because I was late to that game. So I don't know how I missed, but either way, like those are cards that I already have that are already playing on the team in a lot of cases, even though it looks like Ferraro might be getting bumped here now. Yeah, as far as the free legends, well, I was gonna say I think they all play for me. The thing is, I don't like Madano's synergies, even though for a long time his overall. Not like his overall rating, but like his overall underlying face stats, as well as generally how he played for me, was definitely one of the best cards that I've had the entire time. But if I'm in like a bind and I want to have specific synergies up there, Dangle Zone is not one of them, and the other ones that he adds are not cutting it either. So Modano, despite being a 92 and in my opinion a great card that has played over the course of the year, obviously now things are different, but up until things got weird, was great. He definitely found himself riding the pine as a reserve quite frequently, if only just because of synergy and needing to slot somebody else in that synergy that might be kind of close or maybe even a step down, but would therefore bring up the add-on stats for other players that were playing based off of the synergies, etc. So Madano for sure, and I'm pretty sure there's one. Who's the one? Who's the one monthly upgrade that I'm not? So like, Sakic obviously is going to be an all-time now. Nieuwendyke's in, Messier's in, and Bergeron's my fourth center. Ferraro's probably going to be on the outs. I think those are the only 5 that I've. Did I say Madonna already? So those are the 5 or 6 that I've got, I think. I don't think I'm missing anybody. But I feel like there's one that I have that I'm not using and haven't been using. I can't remember off the top of my head who it is. And I've talked enough. So peace out, yo. Abilino, gold rare player pack. And, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go here. First off, let's make sure that we send it to the collection. And you can actually see it'll show up here. That's where I was. As I said, I didn't lie about this either. I don't have enough for the gold commons one. Let's go click into my hut and then see if so he's not part of the free agency clearly. What is, wait, hold on a second. Very confused. Is that new? Because it says July, available until, if that's new, that's cool. I'll take that. Top free agent is not there, clearly. Free agent not there. Pledge upgrade. Oh, that's who the other one is, McInnes. I don't have McInnes though. Oh, okay, that makes more sense to me. So I was like, I don't think I did 6 months of this, and I haven't. Sakic wasn't part of the monthlies, and neither is McInnes. I actually don't have McInnes yet. I got to get more, whatever the hell his thing is. Shots on goal probably. Canada Day set. Well, no, my guy was Finnish, so probably not. And then monthly rewards. So there's Messier and Ferraro. Yeah, 95 overall for Ferraro, 99 for Messier. So according to, that ends on the first. Yeah, according to this list, the card that I just pulled is not part of any of this. It's a Hut Diamond. He's not a free agent. So, I mean, the only reason why I'd point that out, I guess, is just this has probably been proven time and time again by those much greater than I. Thrash, for example. Check out his channel if you have not done that before. Still doing content for NHL19. Still doing polls. Still doing sets. Even doing some... I think he's even doing like a franchise mode thing or something. I don't know what the fuck he's doing over there. He's doing some shit though. Check him out. He doesn't need me to tell you to check him out. He's got like 500K subscribers almost. But I think the point is that there's stuff that's available in those packs that aren't simply just on this list. So it may probably doesn't, but could, so may include literally every Hut Diamond that has ever been released. It could. Because according to this, there's no like current Hut Diamonds on the list. We're just under an hour. When I'm doing this broadcast, hey, somebody's in. As I'm doing this broadcast right now, we're about an hour away from the next update. I'm not really aware of anything that's supposed to be coming from that update, and the person left. But the point is that, again, like, Hut Diamonds are not listed anywhere in there. I picked up other Hut Diamonds, but I felt like it was at times where they were listed here. And I guess you could say maybe they didn't have like enough room. There's 7 things here, but like whatever. I trade in, yeah. So I mean, but almost all this stuff is trade in stuff. So go to sets. Go to store. Yeah, so I mean, if only this group here, which is supposed to be the same group until July 12th, I kind of feel like this might be the only group of cards that are, like, you know, as it says, they're fine in Hut packs now, that are technically supposed to be like outside of the ones that would kind of always be there. But then again, like I would have no idea how they would handle the team of the week or the oh god, what is it? All right, we're gonna go into collections so I can figure out what the name of this goddamn thing is. Wait, what am I? This is not what I wanted to do. Again, I hate that this is how this works. So I gotta go into my team, I guess. Gotta go into lineups. Oh, so he's a 91, and he is Christmas. I was correct on that. How many days I got left in this? 5 days. I was right on that too. There you go. As I said, I did not lie about that. That's Messier with Kaliev and Krebs. So it's good stuff. I mean, then you got Madano and Hull with Neuendijk on the third line. I mean, so there you go. There's Spezza picking up the slack on the. It's a 95. What? Did dude get an inform that I'm unaware of? What's going on here? Or was he always in? Maybe he became a 92 from team of the year, and then got 95 from the free agent part, and maybe I recognized that. And as you can see, he's got both of his synergies activated for me, and that brought his shooting up along with his speed to make him worthwhile for me. So yeah, actually as a 95, he's technically the second highest overall card that I have. And he's on the fourth line. So there's the player I couldn't think of off the top of my head, but that's because he's not always in that spot. But that's the base alum. And again, both of these two cards here, obviously I don't want the base Bergeron, but any other version of those two cards, I kind of rather have, assuming that you either have Face-Off Master as activated for Bergeron, or his face-offs are boosted up more than just the +2 that comes from that, and then I'd have to find potentially somebody else to put in there for that or whatever. Anyways, not the point. And this didn't actually answer the question at all, so let's get to the actual question answering part. Here we go. Primetime rare. So primetime performances, I guess, what they call them. So yeah, so I don't know how the primetimes and the team of the weeks, and any other like non-exclusive event like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any shit that's happened since then, probably also including All-Stars now that that's ended, but I honestly don't know. Clearly any form of Evos. There you go. So Jason Spezza 95. So maybe that, I don't know when that came out. It's available to. I'm gonna go check out Thrash's page when I'm done with this. Find out for myself, so I can stop feeling as stupid as I do at the moment. Because I think I saw the 95 and then kind of forgot about it, and then didn't really like. He's lacking in other stuff, so it just I felt like I didn't really feel the need to kind of move him up very much in that. And I should probably pay attention. Do they have a thing? I'd probably have to exit and come back in, right? And it'll tell me after it tries to sell me NHL20. Does it have the other thing on there? Oh, that's kind of funny. So there you go. I don't know when that popped up, but they're clearly making a point to let y'all know that you got a 95 for free, mostly free. Okay, so here we go. So this is here now, but it doesn't tell me like when it popped up. Because I feel like this has been here for a while, and also This list does not have Spezza on the list. It's got the ones that were on there before, like the 99s, like Panarin and Duchesne and Bobrovsky and Skinner and Eberle and Carlson. And then the monthly rewards. So yeah, I'd have no way of knowing, honestly. But I'm gonna check out Thrash's stuff to see when he posted that, to find out when that popped up, and if it matters to me, and if it's a +3 across the board, which doesn't really matter once you're already at 99 for speed, but definitely does matter for shot for me, and might matter for some of the other ones for people that actually care about that sort of stuff. Anyways, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think we're good. I guess all I was trying to say is, like, team of to the current version of the 99 overall Blues, and previous primetime players. I have no idea how any of that works. I would like to think that, like, as it was during the course of the year, whatever the latest and therefore greatest primetime version of a player's card, whatever the latest and greatest team of the week play, whatever the highest team of the week, if it's a lower overall or whatever, I feel like those should. It seems like they were not getting pulled from the draft packs, and I haven't done a gold plus, but I mean, those are the what we get. What'd you guys give us for free? Collectible. I think that's going to be it, right? Just a collectible and a July collectible. Oh, I should have waited. Damn it. That's fine. That's cool though. Wait, what? Oh, it's nice, yeah. I don't think he. Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna make my team. Two July collectibles. Man, they are super generous. Loving the synergy list though. I mean, not the specifics. I could do without Defensive Warrior, and I don't care so much about Dangles on it. For me personally, Breakout Master is not up there. Actually, Net Presence is not up there at the moment either. What is? I'll get to you. It's only been 2 hours and 20 minutes. A winger who is terrible at face-offs. He's got face-off master synergy. Always fun. 85. He's fast. Shots garbage. Could maybe play him on D just for synergy. But even that, no, because I don't want or need any of those. So yeah, thanks, but I'm not using the card. I mean, if you thought I was talking shit about the 94 overall, that's 99 skate and 93s everywhere else. I'm not going to be talking that great about this. I appreciate it though. Free card, not too bad. And then we get a chance to check out the Duchesne. Oh God, his synergies are. Oh, okay, that's probably the one-timer efficiency thing. So that's not bad. I thought that was it's a trap. I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? And then I saw the 5. So yeah, actually, big fan. 5 for the boys, 2 for passing, 2 for face-off, 2 for hammer time if you feel like tossing that on there. 99s across the board on the base stats, except for checking, which we've been told it does not matter. Underlying stats, 99s comes with 98 endurance again for some strange reason. 99s shots, except wrist shot power is a 98. That'll get picked up by a synergy though, so he'll be 99 for me on that for everything for 7 days. Handles all 99 across the board. Checking obviously is a bit low with that 97 overall, makes sense. And then defense is 99, whatever, if you care about any of those stats. Center is face off 96 plus the face up. Jeez, Jeez, this is a sweet gift. People probably saw. I think I saw this for like over $1 million. Makes sense now. People probably getting 450 for it. What a good card. They had to have. I'm gonna go. I said I wasn't gonna do a fucking 3-hour broadcast in the description. I was joking. I'm gonna go in though. I'm gonna go into Predators and see what his base card is because I do not own it. But as a 99 faceoffs up to 96, I feel like that's boosted. But I'll do the quick math and I'll find out. But yeah, man, that card very clearly making the squad, adding 2 July collectibles and the drafty collectible thing. That's pretty sweet. And then this goes away, which sucks, but makes sense. You can't just give us a 99. And the 85 is there. As I said, I don't expect him to ever make my team, but along with the one that came in the last pack, which I think was the draft pick pack, whatever. I have an 85 of some guy or whatever in that I'm almost 100% positive I do not play either. But I did do the player pick pack. Say that twice fast. And I took shit. What's the dude's name? I took the other goalie. There's two goalies in that pick of 4, assuming everyone got the same picks. And I took the other goalie for synergy. I'm not gonna lie, and he seems fine so far. I mean, if I don't end the season with a 99 or equivalent, as good as Binnington, then I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But for now, that 90 in there is pretty sweet, and that came also again mostly free, just doing some simple grinding. But I didn't. I haven't played today. That sucks. I can't complete 3 games in 26 minutes, especially not an online one. All right. Well, I missed out on a collectible. Oh well. Yeah, I've been kind of busy. Did some actual work the past day before this last 3 hours. So Duchesne. Hey, somebody was on. Hi, have you got any players that can? You want me to give you players? Are you still in here? I didn't even see that over there. I was paying more attention to my screen. If you're somehow still logged in, even though it says 0, feel free to let me know. I actually probably do have a few cards that are not untradeable. I know it's a double negative, but I feel the need to say it that way. We're looking for Preds. It's funny. The only one I have is the free one. Oh, they're not even showing it on the list? That's weird. Oh, you are here. All right, what do you want, man? Tell me. There we go. The primetime Forsberg doesn't usually make it into the team. He does have PP, which I've liked, but I have to put that at a lower quality than others. And this is back in the day, like way back in the day. You see, I got it back in February. Basically 94s, 93 speed, and 87 then shot. He did play for quite a bit. It says games played 0, but that's online. It's just because I don't play online. So he did play, but there's just no room for him on my team at this point. Yeah, you can have whatever, man. Just be specific. What do you specifically want? I don't even know what you're asking me for. Where the hell is... Did I pass it and not notice? Like, here's another card, the 2/2 that I fucked up and didn't get when it was basically free. Did they get... Is that because they're removing The low ones? Are you telling me that he wasn't even an 80 to start this season? Okay, there's a few more 80s in here. I'm so confused. What is going on? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the first page. Oh, I didn't mean to click left that many times. What? Okay. Why am I getting booted from Hut? While my broadcast is still up and running. Try this again, and I was intending to end with this, so let me do it. Get over to N. I mean, even though it's a loan, it's kind of strange that they're not showing the Duchesne in here. So did he? I don't even know. Did he not start the season on the Predators, or did they just? Is there no room for regular cards? I literally don't see any other versions of cards for him at all. It would seem strange to me that you'd go to a 99 with nothing in between. I definitely don't understand what's going on. And I mean, fuck it, I'll go over to auctions, but this is asinine. This is one of the many reasons why their marketplace setup is jacked at best, because I can't go in here and do a player name search. I think they were going to try to change it where you could. So, all right, let's first do centers. See if he happens to pop up on any of the top ones here. I'm doing that. Don't expect him to. How much is he trying to sell Gretzky for? People still think they're going to get 1.3 for that, huh? That's interesting. I should have paid attention to his player type, because that one didn't change. Fuck it, I guess I'll try. Is there another? Are they putting special cards in a different thing? No idea. This is what happens when you leave a game for a couple months. Oh, wait, what is it? A free agent? Oh, clearly not. Because there's apparently no. That's weird. And it's not an all-star card either, right? Okay, so there's the 99, and that's somebody wants 800K for that. What is his? Okay, so he's a playmaker, and not everybody is, so that'll help. Okay, what? I'm 2.5 hours in. I don't have time to pull up my side device and find out if Duchesne was on a different team. He was. That's the whole fucking point, is that he's a free agent. Idiot. God damn it. Alright, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. Trying to think, what team were you on, bro? and I'm well aware that I'm showing. Oh, that's a pretty. Hold on, pretty boss looking card. Team of the week, and it's not even a team of the year for 99. Fucking horrendous. What is going on? Why? Okay. Like, I was kind of hoping to get lucky, but now like I'm 9 pages in. I feel like I definitely should have one version at this point. Maybe he was... No, because his position as playmaker should stay the same at all times. Alright, so we're going to... No, I'm not guessing on team. Duchesne. Man, why don't I know? I'm going to guess on overall rating. Just going to assume that he was gold rare. There we go. It's been so long. I was like, was he Flames? No, Senators, dumbass. There's an 81. Okay, well, that not really the point. Point was face-offs 76. So, you know, he was 5 off of the max. So if he just got a straight line plus 18, you add 18 to face-offs, and you'd only be looking at a 94. Whereas his 99, as I suspected, it got a boost. It's a 96 plus face-off master synergy. So there's that. There's also the fact that his skate stat was 91 when he was an 81. He was 93, 93. If you want to call it a balance, 85, whatever, endurance, 78, whatever, speed, 94. The ones that matter were 93s and 94s when he was an 81. You know, so it's like, let's get our shit together. Are you telling me that his shot was no bueno? It was less than 80 as a base card? Yet, you know, like, I don't. This is just me, and I'm gonna end with this shit right here. If the informs and the ads were supposed to be straight line, linear, plus whatever, so going from 81 to 83 would add plus 2 across the board on all the underlying players' face stats, then what should have been a thought for the devs was considering a player and realizing that, you know, what their 99 was going to look like, whether they got there or not. Say they got hurt after 2 months and for some reason didn't end up making it into 99, even though in 2 months they put up better stats than 90% of the league that played a full year. So him being an 80, this is his base card, 81. So you can look at the stats on the right side. Literally everything that's under 81, speed is not one of them. Defensive awareness technically is not one. Discipline is technically not one. Those are both 81s exactly. Deking is the 81 exactly. And that's it. So the rest were above. Deking, defensive awareness, unless that's a 61. No, it's an 81. Discipline, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care, honestly. I'm just trying to make a basic point here. You should have been able to look at this and realize that, like, literally everything underneath 81, when this goes to 99, would not be at 99. So if you were to say, okay, well, you know, this card at 99, his shooting would basically be 97s across the board, and a 98. Wait, hold on. It's not right. Yeah, 97s across the board and 96 on wrist shot power. is what the 99 should have been if it was linear and the add-ons were exactly based off of the overall card compared to what the final one was. And now, if you want to say, sure, as the game sunsets into the next version, that you have to be able to differentiate 99s in different ways besides just changes or additions to their synergies. Sure, yeah, fine, I'm on board with that. I get it, makes sense. But having to boost because you didn't dev it properly from the get, that ain't my fault, man. Having every single center in the game, literally every single one of them, have their base card be atrocious at face-off stats. Here you've got an 81. Say what you want about Matt, whether you consider him to be good at face-offs or not. He was a 76. If you wanted any of your first three-line top three, you want to make him your number 3 center with the 76 face-off, good fucking luck is all I'm saying. Like, you're going to be highly skilled to be able to make that work. And clearly, you're not using this card to do it, by the way. You're using some other card that, for some strange reason, has a 76 overall into July. Yes, I do teach master level game theory courses, which is not necessarily about like actual games like this, which is both a video game as well as a simulation of an actual in real life game. And so within game theory, an argument can be made that even though the way that this game works at the moment, I've only played like one game online to get my credit for my collectible, so I just whatever. I don't know if any significant changes have happened, but it seems to be what it was before, which is that you don't see who's joining you, so you can't quit out before it starts. So top players can still have the chance to play against shitty players like myself. Congrats. I'm only playing the one game for the credit anyways. So there's that, and then there's even like as the game is starting, you basically you're seeing like your team warm up as opposed to the other teams. You can't really spot like even the names of other players, and I think it'd be pretty clear that there should be a difference in how excited you'd be to have on your squad this card for Duchesne compared to the free 99 one that we all just got, or the 99 that maybe you paid for or picked up in a set or whatever, like at a pack or whatever. So simply just seeing a person's last name, especially if they're a current player, or if they're any player that has a variety of different things. Like for me, you saw in this broadcast, I showed you my 4th line left winger is apparently base 86 overall Yari Curry. So yeah, happy to have the card. I know some of the legends in the upgrade process maintain their synergy from tier 1 to 2 to 3, but when you do that final upgrade to turn them into a true legend card, the synergies sometimes shift, change, drop, etc. So I've not really looked at that, to be honest. However, I would assume that I'd take basically any version of Curry over the one that I have, and it's untradeable, and I think I've got multiple versions of it, which is why I play with that one, and I don't have any higher one because that would require me putting in collectibles to upgrade and or buying it off the marketplace, neither of which are very enticing for me at the moment. Did I talk long enough to get to the upgrade? Not quite yet. 9 minutes. I'll start another one. I'll start another one in like 5 minutes in case there's anything new, which, well, it's Wednesday. Does stuff come out on Wednesdays? It's July 3rd. I don't think so. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But yeah, I would, and if say the legend version totally messed with the synergies and screwed it where it was a thing that was totally in line with what I was looking for, then whatever, I could just play with like his T3 version, like two upgrades. It'd be at least a +4 compared to what it is now. So it'd be like a 90 at a minimum, as opposed to his final card has got to be at least a 92 or a 94 or whatever overall. But point being, like, even that card, like, there'd be different versions of that card. Mario Lemieux doesn't have this issue, but Gretzky certainly does. I can play. I think I just like quick sold for 0, or just like I did something to get it off my squad. I think maybe, I don't know, but like I could play with an 80 overall Gretzky, and I could be like some people do and put him in as my first line center. He's not actually bad at faceoffs, even as an 80, which like sort of confuses people and makes them think that you're playing with the 99 version, and you're clearly not. So that was what I was talking about in terms of like the supposed gamesmanship that you could play with, that goes away as soon as said player is involved in scoring in any way, shooting, scoring a goal as the shooter, or one of potentially 2 players to get an assist on that shot. The card will flash. You can try to hit X to speed it, but if the other player doesn't, they can see, and now they know your thing. They can also get it from the pause menu. I think the pauses have been made so that you like basically can't pause during the game. But you can certainly see it by the time you get to the first period. You only get 20 seconds. And I know for me, I'm slow as shit, so I can't get through an entire person's team in that amount of time. But I can get a general sense. You know, if you're playing these base cards that, you know, are just intended to scare me because I know that there's 99 versions out there, like I'll see that. I personally won't really care because I'm not looking to get into it for the win. So as I wrap this up right now, and I am ending at this particular moment, you got less than 30 seconds left. I guess I made the point very early on, probably in the first month, as soon as EVOs became a thing and I understood how those were intended to work, I made the point of saying that there should have been a better, mark to market in terms of realizing, any level, like from 70, even though 70s are very difficult to upgrade all the way to 99, but certainly any gold rare, any premium player in the game who's currently playing in the game and getting informs, getting upgrades, there should have been a realization of what that 99 would look like if it was linear and got only the addition that the difference between the existing and the inform was. So like the first time he got an upgrade at 83, and everything here went +2. Even before that happened, there should have been an understanding of what the base levels should have been. And don't misunderstand, I wanted to end this 30 seconds ago, but don't misunderstand me and think that I'm saying that like an 81 overall should have every single face stat be 81 or higher, so that when it becomes a 99, it's 99s across the board. There's part of me that wants to kind of agree with that idea, that a 99 overall card should basically be 99 across the board. It definitely either is or mostly is in games like Madden, which is also an EA game. Different development teams in different countries, actually. One's in Canada and one's in the US. But there's part of me that kind of wants to agree with that. But if not, I would say, you should look at an individual on their base stats and see, like, this isn't a great example, honestly, because 81 is not that much higher than the shot stats. But like, let's say he was an 81 and either his speed or shot, which is the only thing that anybody cares about, was down around like lower 70s, like 72, 73, 74. 74 max, you'd have to understand, is going to be basically -7 when it goes to a 99 if it's linear. So it's gonna max at a 92. And why in the world would anybody seek that 99 card out for a 92 shot power when they can get an 85 or 86 diamond that's got 99 power and speed? And turns out the other stats don't matter. You know, I'm basically trying to speak to their, you know, greed or corporate sense here, which is that, like, you want people to be buying your whatever it is, your coins, and then buying the packs. You need to do a lot better in terms of putting significantly better content in said packs. You need to be a lot better across all your properties in terms of the probabilities and specifically what they mean, and then matching the outcomes to those probabilities. And I say that as a true stats nerd, not as someone who says, oh, hey, it said 48%, and I opened 2 of them and I didn't get the thing that said 48%, your thing lies. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can open 1,000 of them and you are not getting 480. You're getting a lot less than that. They're not holding up to outcomes. Your computer-based simulations that you guys use over there at EA Vancouver tell you that that's what's being held up, but the reality of the players, we've all tested it. We have enough in our data set to be able to show it. We've got it all recorded. None of it's faked. It doesn't hold up. I'm not making an argument to try to say like you owe us something or whatever. I'm just saying these are things that can be improved, and NHL20 is already in the can. There's a chance maybe to make a couple extra little tweaks, and people aren't going to do it from listening to a 3-hour marathon session from a channel that nobody goes to, except for apparently Lit for Man, who wanted me to give him stuff that I actually would have done if I had stuff that was tradable. I probably do, but he left. So anyways, peace out. I don't want that to really be, well, whatever, fuck it. We're done. I'm gonna jump right back on and see what's new for today, because it's that time in one minute.